funny. Give it up for Ben Kissel.
Hey, babies. Hi, Tay. Hi, Lily. Jay, get off of Lily. My name is Ben Kissel. I'm originally from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I've been in New York for 8 years. I'm a comedian / dog nanny. I got an email. This fella was looking for a dog nanny. At the time I was doing temp work. Turns out I'm not suited for the office. They didn't like my dick jokes. So I got this email about the dogs and I was like, this sounds right up my alley. I'm a cuddler, I'm a lover, I'm a holder of all things adorable. I interviewed with John, I went to his house and I met the dogs. And the reason I got hired was because of Gidget, the Chihuahua. I went down to pet her as if she was a normal dog that enjoyed human affection, but she is not, and she bit my finger, and then I bled all over the place. And John said I was hired because I did not beat her or throw her around the room. I didn't even think I cursed. You know, I was just like, oh, you know, dogs will be dogs. And he's like, that's the kind of Wisconsin attitude we're looking for here, because these dogs are violent beasts. And then this is Cheo. He's a Russell Terrier Chihuahua. They found him on the side of the road in Oklahoma, I think. So he's always sort of shaken and disturbed. And he's the biggest, and she's the fattest. So this June came in, this fella, he was a so-called dog whisperer, but he doesn't realize that my dogs don't listen to whispers, they only listen to shouts. He deduced that Lily was the one starting all the damage, starting all the problems, so I believe him. And I think that's the thing with Lily. Everyone's just like, oh, the cute little Maltese, like she can't do anything wrong. But she can. It's like when you hear stories about elderly people being kleptomaniacs. That's sort of what she is, under the radar, stealing everybody's shit. Well, I started doing comedy when I was 5, 6 years old. My first major role was with the Shoestring Players in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I played a tree. I was fantastic. And at that point, I fell in love with, mostly playing a tree. And then I found out there was other acting roles out there. So I started doing some of those, and I just loved doing comedy. I loved doing sketch. So I moved on to do stand-up comedy when I was 19. And now I'm 31. So I've been doing stand-up for like 12 years. Okay, so this is the leash. Cheo, come here. And now he's gonna run away from me. I'm putting on her harness here. And I will say, it is a medium-sized harness, and it's on the widest possible extension, even though she's a Chihuahua, and she's supposed to use the smallest harness. But she's our little heavyweight. Theoretically, walking dogs, like you're supposed to get women are supposed to like you more when you walk dogs, but not in this situation because they bite all the pretty girls and then they think that I'm a bad dad even though I'm just an uncle. Oh my. Once again, I'm gonna execute the classic Kissel pick-up poop technique. I think I'm gonna try to patent it. Note the quickness and speed. I didn't even think about it. It's done. Growing up, we had to be up at like 7 o'clock in the morning for church, and then we stayed there all day. I don't know, let God sleep, I would say. So Saturday nights, we would sneak up to the living room at like 10 o'clock at night, and we would watch SNL. And there was something so rebellious about it. I used to hide behind a chair and then like peek my head around and watch him do watch like Chris Farley dance naked with Patrick Swayze. And it was great. And then my father would come out and catch us and then beat up my older brother, but I would be hiding behind the chair, so I got away with it. And really some fond memories. I mean, not for my brother, but for me. My project's in New York. I do 3 podcasts. One's a horror podcast called Last Podcast on the Left. One's like a political podcast meets boobs, which is Abe Lincoln's Top Hat. And then another one is like a weekly roundup show where we talk about some disturbing stories of the week, and that's called Roundtable of Gentlemen. And just pretty much do everything. You have to be able to do everything in New York in order to make it nowadays. I hate holding this bag of shit. It is definitely my least favorite part of the job, although occasionally in the winter, if you forget your gloves, it's actually kind of warming. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's tough to tell. You never know in this business because things happen overnight, or they happen over like 30 years. So whatever, just try to maintain a positive outlook on life and avoid the vet. Hey, you were doing good.